Hey, everybody, welcome to Tequila Talks. I have a very special guest with me today. Her name is Alma Yarilis. And if you don't know, now you know. Alma, what up? How are you?
What's up? 10 years of friendship or 10 years of knowing you, real estate world. I'm so happy to be in collaboration with you and connecting with my home slice, Jorge Flores, who's a legend in the Windy City, Berwyn, Cicero area. I'm super honored.
No, thank you. Thank you for the kind words. I'll make sure I'll slip you that hundo for saying all that. So thank you. But yeah, no, what's that song called? I did and it feels so good. It's an oldie,
Yeah.
but it's
You
a
know,
classic. But yeah, no, we've had the honor to met you over 10 years ago.
yep.
I know back then you were, you know, famous on TV, doing a lot of novelas and stuff, and, having a lot of experiences. I
What
don't
is
know
it
if you want
called?
to,
5 minute fame? ¿Cómo se dice? You have your what?
your 15 minutes of fame.
Your 15 minutes of my 5 minutes. You have your 15 minutes of fame. Yeah. Yeah. No, mine was like five.
I'm still waiting for mine.
I did Nuestra Belleza Latina. I did My City's Just Not That Into Me. I did Love After First Flight. I'm sure there's like in a couple commercials. But no, one of the TV shows I did landed me in Tennessee. I moved there on a whim in my early 30s, not knowing a soul because I just wanted something different. Like I grew up in Chicago. This is all I know. Went to Tennessee, excuse me, got a job in nonprofit because I had 13 years of experience. My best friend came to visit me from New York and he was like, you need to get into real estate. And it scared me. It scared me a lot. I was like, I don't know, man. It seems like I don't know if I can do it. And I passed my exam, and I'm really proud of this. I don't know how many agents you know, but I passed my exam in Tennessee and Illinois on my first try. Not
Nice.
easy. It's not easy. Couldn't even believe it. The first time in Tennessee, I was like, I passed. They're like, yeah, you passed. I was like, okay. And I just ran.
You're
You
like,
say
let's
so.
do this. That's awesome. So, what was your experience like over there in Tennessee? Tell us a little bit about that. I know you said a friend of yours is the one that kind of told you to get into real estate,
Yeah.
but how was that experience, a transition to real
It
estate?
was super empowering as a Latina, as a woman to go off into this like new territory without knowing anyone. It's super empowering, right? Because you're like figuring it out. Like the streets you know in your hometown, like I had to do that all over in a new town, in a new state. And so it was kind of awkward too because you know, it was my first time diving into real estate and they're asking you, do you know this property in Smyrna? And you're like, yes, I do. And they're like, oh yeah, where's it at? And you're like, so it was like, I hate to say it, right? Because I don't want to say fake it till you make it. But it was a lot of that. But that's actually how you learn. Like I was afraid of real estate and now I feel like I'm a contract expert, which is how I gain people's trust because now I know how to protect them better and their interest and their safety. And so I closed my first home in 3 months after being licensed. Then it was like crickets almost a year later. It wasn't actually till my 1 year mark that I really took off. And I'm talking 8 million to 12 million in sales each year. But it was great. And now I'm back in my hometown and everybody knows non for profit Alma, commercial Alma, but I'm creating that referral system that I had in Tennessee. I had 5 years of real estate. It was nonstop referral business. And so I'm doing that here and it's good. I like it. I like where I'm at.
Awesome. I did put some questions for you, so I'm going to rapid fire, you
Okay.
know. At what point did you realize it was time to return back home to Chicago?
When I was expecting my son, I was like, "Oh, I miss my family and I want my son to see my family." And honestly, I didn't want my son to be born in Tennessee. I wanted him to be born in Chicago because look who's come out of Chicago. A lot of very important people.
Hey, but one of my favorite artists is from Tennessee, Morgan Wallen, and
Yeah,
he's hot
well,
right now.
that's great. But Junior was born at Northwestern with that lake dream.
Hey, I was born and raised in Chi-Town too, so I feel you. I know how it is. Did moving away and then coming back change the way you see the city and the real estate market?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Like luxury, because I sold luxury in Tennessee. Luxury in Tennessee looks different than luxury in Chicago. It's just luxury in Tennessee means you have so much more acreage. Whereas in Chicago, there's elevators, there's updates, there's parking, there's your garage. So luxury in both Tennessee and Illinois, different ball games. You really got to know the difference.
What part of Tennessee were you at?
I was in Nashville and I
What?
sold all over the state. So I knew a lot about Lake Holmes and Hendersonville. I sold at the Icon, which is in the Gulch. Icon has a bunch of penthouses. The most that I've done here in regards to luxury is Lincoln Park. So I've shown a $2.1 million property. Oh, I gotta tell you, I know this is not what the question, but I gotta tell you, the most expensive property I've ever shown is in Tennessee was 6.2 million. I felt like I was walking on Holy Land. I was like,
Wow. That must have been a beautiful home.
oh yeah.
Awesome. Outside of your family, what did you miss the most about Chicago?
Outside of my family, what did I miss the most about Chicago? I think the music scene. What I like about Chicago is you can go to any venue, and as long as there's music, you will vibe with the crowd. And that's just different. Like, now don't get me wrong, I like my country. I like Kane Brown a lot. I like Dustin Lynch. I love Jelly Roll, even though you may argue he may not be too country, but I like Jelly Roll. Like, I like my country. But in Chicago, it's like the crowd vibes with you. Like, you become the crowd, and that's what I miss about Chicago. I miss the house music. I miss the vibes. Nashville, there's a lot of country. There's a lot of country, and you had your Latino scene too. You knew where your Latino scene was at.
But Chicago's home.
But Chicago is home, and it's funny because, like, in Nashville, the more nervous I got, for some reason, the more strong my accent got. So it was like, okay, I got this. And then you meet them like, hi, how you doing? Yeah, I can't wait to show you. And it's like, whoa, like that. I had one person tell me like, are you New York? Are you Miami? And I'm like, you obviously haven't been to Chicago. But the more nervous I get, the stronger my Chicago accent gets. It's really crazy.
Chicago. Nice. I hear
I go
you.
the Bears.
What did you carry from your Tennessee experience, whether it's lifestyle, culture, or even food? What do you still carry with you from Tennessee?
A lot of the music. The music. I've gone through some really the most painful experience I've gone through, which was in June, was was a miscarriage, and a lot of the music carried me through that really really dark time. It was like pitch black, and you're trying to be strong, you're trying to be the best mom, but you're hurting, you're mourning. A lot of the music carries me through a lot of painful memories, and just makes me feel stronger. Um, Also, I guess the business skills, like there's a lot of real estate skills from Tennessee that transfer over, like connecting with people, communication, follow up. I had my first, no, oh my God, my second brokerage, which was the one where I made the most money. It was like a boot camp. And I took a lot of those skills, I carried with me in my business today.
Awesome. Now that you're back, what's your vision for growing your business in the Chi-Town area?
Right now, I feel like I'm doing good. It's new for me because I was killing it in the buyer's market. I was killing it. At least 5 times I would meet a person and put them under contract the same day that I showed them a house. I would always ask for a 3% seller closing costs. Like I was a beast. And now that I'm in Chicago, I'm like this. I don't care what anybody says. You may be like, "Oh, this is a buyer's market." Stop. For me, it's definitely a seller's market. It's cooling off. It's cooling off for sure. And yeah, you should always be a homeowner versus renting. But this is a seller's market. So learning how to live in this is new for me. And I feel like even with most experienced agents, you're always learning something. I mean, look at the change with brokers commission. Now it's really about who has that gift of communicating, I don't say this is my commission. I say this is what I'm seeking for in compensation. There's stuff changing all the time that you got to maneuver and move with water, move like water.
There you go. There you go. What advice would you give realtors or really anybody that's thinking about making a big move and then possibly returning back home?
Visit as much as you can. Hell, I didn't do that. I really didn't do that. But visit as much as you can. Get to know the people. Like if you're trying to go into real estate, for me it's like the team. I do better in a team setting. That's just I've always been that way. So it's like make sure you get to actually spend time with the teams, and then you like once you see how people work, I also look at numbers. So whenever I am joining the team here, I look at who's closing more and I look at mentorship. So my first brokerage here, I found it too hot. Second one was too cold. And right now, I feel like it's just right. And I think that being direct, being professional, being direct makes a huge difference because you don't have to be like, hey, can I ask this? Or, hey, I'm sorry. I just no, just be direct. Like, look, this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for leads. I'm looking for mentorship. If you don't have these, can you teach me how to get them? Because throughout your career, if you're good at it, the referrals are going to come. But when you're starting out, whether it's in your hometown or a different hometown, you really need to look closely and pay attention to mentorship.
Amen. Yeah, that's a lifelong choice, at least for me, to have coaching, mentorship from people that are doing better than you. You always have to have accountability as well, but that's very important. I like that. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
If we would sit down again for Tequila Talks in 5 years, where do you see yourself and your business?
Where do I see myself in the honestly, I would like to move into a managing broker position and perhaps in Chicago, perhaps not. We're still getting to see how Chicago takes care of us. And it's different because it's weird because I'm back in my home, but I'm married and a mom. Whereas, like, I tell people in Nashville when I was single and I wasn't a mom, I would meet you in the mountains at 10:30 p.m. I'll sell you anything at any time, and I don't care who you are, And as a mom, I've had to be a lot more strict, and so I sometimes, I ask ChatGPT, like, can moms make it in real estate? Because it's a big difference in availability. You know, my attention now is providing Junior the best childhood ever. Whereas opposed, it was like, I'm going to get that client and I'm going to win that client. Sometimes I will not be able to fit that client in. I would just not. And that client's just going to get pissed off and look for another agent. And that's okay. That's okay. And even if you don't have kids, you don't always win every client. And that's okay, but it is completely different, totally different being in real estate as a parent than not, it's just, it is what it is. Like, for instance, NAREP, I was membership director in Nashville for NAREP. I don't got the time for that right now. And so I always tell the younger realtors in Realty of America, I'm rooting for you. Like take advantage, like run, don't walk, run, like take advantage, connect, meet with people. I'll be honest with you, there was a lender in Nashville that thanks to our collaboration, I closed half of the 12 million with her. It was 6 million deals with the same lender, and not everyone could use her. Sometimes they were looking for a veterans loan or a medical loan, a doctor loan, but it's like, connections, collaborations are important, you know, they really
Amen.
are. And it goes with lenders to realtors and realtors to realtors.
No, amen. Collaboration is important. El sol sale para todos.
Yeah.
And but we're gonna break that record here in Illinois, in Chicago, over 6 billion. We're gonna close.
You're a
We'll do it.
legend. I mean, I'm not trying to like you're Jorge, you are a legend and I think you earn your rights, and whether you're the bad if you're the bad boy of lending, then I'm the bad girl of real estate, as a realtor, because I go hard. I'm not perfect, but I go hard and I am a contract expert, and that's what I'm most proud of.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, absolutely. You gotta be good at what you do. You know what I mean? In this business, whether it's lending or real estate, you're always gonna be learning. There's always new things that pop up, twists and whatnot. Master your craft. Learn.
Yeah. And have thick skin because when it goes well. And when it doesn't, it hurts. So like
Yeah,
have some thick skin and take pride in that.
yeah, amen. Do you remember your first deal that you
Yes, I
closed?
do.
Was it
Yes.
smooth or was it a total chaos?
It was bumpy as hell. First of all, it was a listing. So if it had been the buyer side, I remember I was with the lender who gave it to me. And she's like, here, you're going to sell this and it's a listing. And then I'm like, what? What? She was like filling out the listing agreement. And I'm like, okay. And then in my mind, I'm like, when is it going to get to the point where I memorize this, like the contract, the listing agreement, exclusive buyer representation? When? After 3 deals. After 3 deals. Now, I will say this. Now, this is gonna be key. If you have a binder and you have a team lead, because not a lot of people do this, but you have a team lead who sets you up with a binder with examples of former, cross out confidential information like names and address, and they just provide you with samples. That's how I learned the quickest. I learned that at boot camp. They give you a big old, I still have it. It's like a binder Bible, and it just has samples of all these contracts. And you just, after your third deal, you're fine. So it was more sexy for me to be in the game and be afraid of it at first. And then
Uh,
it just becomes like second nature.
All right, all right. I want to hear this one. I love this question. If you could go back and give yourself one piece of advice when you started in real estate, what would it be?
One piece of advice, huh? I know. I know. I regret having left the agency in Nashville, um, that I was most successful in because I became a little too cocky. I was closing luxury deals on my own. And I ruffled some feathers when the luxury head was training me. I ruffled feathers because they're like, well, why her? Why her? And so I backed off and then I got more aggressive. I was like, hey, you either put me in luxury or I'm out of here. And they're like, hey, like, just take it easy. You're doing great. Just give us some more time. You'll get there. And I was like, well, I'm closing luxury deals on my own. So get me in or I'm out. I left. I regret that decision. I think I needed to. Some people now I had someone tell me, you didn't make the right decision. You were standing up for yourself. Yes, but you should also be grateful for the people that believe in you. And I haven't met anyone that finds their brokerage to be peachy keen perfect. And so sometimes you need to take a step back, gather your thoughts, gather your feelings, and remember, like, be grateful where you're at. Cause sometimes you're just like, sometimes you feel stuck, you know? And so just calm it down, be grateful. I regret having left that brokerage. I'm happy where I'm at now. This is Chicago. Very happy where I'm at now, and I feel like I'm being listened to. But that's something I regret from Nashville.
Okay, okay. Thank you for sharing. Do you remember the moment you knew real estate was the right career for you?
Yeah, when I moved to Chicago and said I'm not doing real estate, and everybody kept coming to me about real estate, and then I was like, oh, this is a little too easy. My first month license in Illinois, it was 3 closings in 1 month. So and that was super exciting, motivating. I felt great. So yeah, I think it was just junior had turned like just two, and I was like, I'm not going back to real estate, and here I am.
There you go. There you go. What do you think people misunderstand the most about being a realtor?
I think they think it's this like, and I know you hear it all the time, like selling sunset. Like you're selling $1 million deals all the time. And for me, I won't say no to a 220,000 deal. I won't say no to a $500,000 deal or $1 million deal. So you got to give people the same respect, the same attention across board. And just remember that who you close, like to nurture that relationship and not just be like, ¿Cómo está la casa? Or mi información. It could also be like, ¿Cómo se siente, señor? ¿Cómo le va? ¿Cómo pasó su cumpleaños? It could be just checking in. Cause I mean, I had a friend, this is really funny, and he's my $500,000 deal. I have a friend who had unfollowed me, but had reached out to me and was like, you're back in real estate? And I'm like, why did you unfollow me? Turned out to be my $500,000 deal client. Obviously, he was a friend. I was like, you never know who's paying attention. You never know. So I always was told, don't be a secret agent, don't be a secret agent, but literally, don't be a secret agent.
Cool. Yeah, don't be
I don't know if
secret.
I answered your question. What the hell was your question?
No.
I don't know.
No, I said, what do you think people misunderstand the most about being a realtor?
Ay, yo no sé lo que yo respondí, pero you got a lot. You got a lot from that. I don't even know if I answered it, but you got a lot.
She answered it. No. How do you guide first-time home buyers who are nervous about the process?
I love first time home buyer consultations. That is like, I love it because I consider myself, this is how I think I win. And I won a lot of, when they interview a lot of realtors, they'll tell me, and I win. I feel like I win all the time. Um, it's education. It's having them, like, walking them through it and preparing them before something happens. So when they're caught off guard, when people are caught off guard about the home inspection fee, the appraisal fee, or should I waive the inspection? Like, no, don't waive the inspection. Like, do not waive the inspection. So I think that educating people and preparing them, once you're under contract with me, I provide you a link with a timeline. And I say, this is this date, this is that date, this is when you have to pay this, and I'll help you through it. So you want them to feel calm. But one thing I tell them is like, one thing, like, I'm the home. Your lender is the loan. Therefore, I can give you some direction, but you go to your lender for what to bring to closing and what you're going to pay monthly. Like, don't get it twisted. And I will collaborate and work with that lender closely, but your lender is your lender. And I'm this. I'm the home. And so being transparent about that as well. Because I'm not going to put someone, not going to sell someone so that I can ruin my own reputation. If they can't afford it, if they have 0 in savings, and I'm pushing you to that, then you're gonna bash my name, and I'm not gonna go there.
All right, reputation's everything, and you
Yeah,
know
it is.
that's
Especially
why.
with
Yeah, but don't believe everything you hear. You know what I
no,
mean?
this is sacred time, and then I can show you whenever, my availability. But if you start get caving in, it's gonna become something that you love into something you hate.
No, I agree. I agree. You got to have balance. You know, what I mean, you can't live to work. You got to work to live.
I've
You know?
had people get mad at me because I didn't reply to them at midnight. Well, then maybe this isn't the type of client relationship I want. I won't be able to text you at midnight.
Yeah, no. I mean, at the end of the day, I agree. There has to be respectable times
Yeah.
to talk. You know, I do get them same messages sometimes in la madrugada, early in the morning, late night. I don't respond.
Facebook message from someone in Texas saying, "Do you want this feed or not?" Because I didn't see her Facebook message like in an hour, and it was like, "Do you want this client or not?" Really? Okay, let's be a little bit more respectful. Like, it's Facebook Messenger, woman. It's not even my cell phone.
I
Okay,
know
so you get all sorts of weird stuff happening.
people have to be patient. That's the important part. All right, let's have some fun right now.
Okay.
Is tequila your choice of drink, or what do you?
Actually, it is, and I'm
It
not
is
even it is. It
perfect,
really
perfect.
is.
So since we're on Tequila Talks, are you a margarita on the rocks or straight tequila shot type of person?
Straight tequila shot.
All right, all right.
Straight tequila shot. Let me tell you, when my husband and I have gotten into heated differences, we have literally said, "Take a shot," and then we're like, "Okay, let's talk," and it's helped us a lot.
Let's not take three breaths. Let's take a
No, no,
shot,
no.
huh?
Let's take a shot and let's go back to the conversation.
I feel you. I feel you. If closing a tough deal felt like taking a tequila shot, which client story deserves a double shot?
Which one? God, there's so many. There's so many. Which one is one that we just? I guess I can use the one that's going on today. Man, I don't know. Let me see. One of the ones that closed and that was really tough. I guess there was one where I had a first of all, I had a buyer's agreement with this person. Okay. I already had that. And another agent showed this person the home. And my client was like, "Yeah, I feel really bad. I got really, impatient, and I reached out to this person that they kept pushing on me." And I said, "Well, do you know that you signed an exclusive buyer's agreement with me, and it's still active? Did you know that?" Like, "Well, I feel bad. I really want to work with you, but the people keep pushing me." This person, I go, "Okay." So I reached out to that agent and I said, "Hey, just so you know, that person backed off. They're actually from Chicago. They're young. They're from Colombia. They were very professional and kind and said, 'Hey, my bad.'" And I was able to get that person the IDA loan. I was able to negotiate 10,000 off the purchase price. I had told them what closing costs would look like. I said, it's going to look like this. It's going to look like 12,000. Even with 7,000 of IDA, even with 10,000 off the purchase price, your closing costs are going to look like this. The day before closing, the lender gave the wrong number.
Oh,
The number was half that. We asked her up to closing. The person has half of what they need to close. They start to lose it and say that they feel bamboozled. And the lender's there. The lender's at closing. And she's like, no, this is my fault. It's totally my fault. I had text messages where I told the person, this is what your estimated closing costs look like. So this is what you need to bring to closing to close. My number was on point and it was in the text message. But it really hurt. It really hurt when they said, I feel bamboozled. That really hurt me because I had proof of what I had told them to bring. And the lender just made an honest mistake. The lender just purely made an honest mistake. She was out with her family and you just text too fast. After we closed, I needed like 2 days. And that person kept calling me, calling me, calling me.
yeah. The lovely world of real estate and lending.
And that was an Oakland deal.
If your career so far in real estate was a tequila cocktail, what drink would it be and why?
I don't know if it's a cocktail, but the whole like the Guadalajara canterito,
Oh,
like the big old cantarito. I actually have one in my garage. That would be realistic for me. Like humongous Guadalajara canta.
well, I have a story about that in Guadalajara after tequila, doing the tequila tour. And this was during COVID. We got one of those big jumbo
Mhm.
cantaritos. And to say the least, I missed my flight. Those were my drinking days back in the day. I missed my flight,
Man,
but I got stories. It was a good time.
yeah,
It was a good time.
yeah.
Luckily,
I
nobody
mean,
got hurt. Nobody
you
got
live, you
hurt,
learn.
but it was
Nobody
fun.
died. We're okay.
Nobody
We're
died,
here.
but did you
We're here.
die? But did you die?
But did you die?
I know, right? Last question. Some people love tequila, some fear it. How would you win over clients who are nervous about buying or selling?
About buying or selling. I always, it's the God honest truth when we say you're paying for somebody's mortgage. You are paying somebody's mortgage. And so I would much rather it be yours and also to like some people say, well, I don't know if I want to stay here too long. Well, it's an investment. So you'll always have that. So it, I walk them through it, but most importantly, I prepare them because some people they are not ready to buy. Some people are just not. And so what you do is you prepare them, you connect them with the lender, and you say, look, you want to buy right away? You want to buy 3 years from now? Talk to a lender now. Know what you have to do. Know what changes you have to make, whether that's income or paying something off. Don't buy a car the month you want to buy a home. And so connecting them with the lender, I think is key, is priority, just to prepare them whether they want to buy now or 3 years from now.
Great advice. Well, thank you for sharing that, and, definitely thank you for taking time out of your busy day. And real talk, it's definitely nice to reconnect. I definitely look forward to our continued relationship and,
I'm glad it worked out because
break free.
let's be honest, this is the fourth time we tried, and I think it was my internet that was like, "It's raining, vete pa'l carajo." No, but George, you are more than anything. You're a friend. I admire your work ethics. I admire you showing up. And I think that that's really cool. And I think you are a mentor for younger generations. I think that's a good example of what hardworking community looks like.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. And then
And
did he
thanks for
get it?
not giving up on me after like that weird Nashville like I told you I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. I wasn't selling, so I felt defeated. Now, it changes. It really changes you once you start selling. You start to feel confident in yourself and you start to feel like, okay, I can be around people again. When you don't sell, man, you feel it.
No, I agree. Everybody, especially now with just evolving, getting older, getting smarter, getting wiser, at the end of the day, people go through things. We all do. I do. We're human. We're not robots. We're not perfect.
Yeah.
Life happens. Things sometimes happen beyond your control.
I
And,
looked at receiving. I was posting like crazy about real estate before I actually hit what I felt was my goal.
yeah, no,
I
for
was
sure.
like crazy. So you might be like, "Oh, she's killing it. She's doing great." Maybe she's working towards that. exactly
Absolutely.
yet.
Yeah,
You
no,
know.
absolutely. At the end of the day, you can't judge. You know, we listen, we don't judge.
But thanks for being like so kind
No, that's that's Jorgito
and
for you. You
forgiving.
know, that's who I am. Definitely. Grateful for just again evolving, getting smarter, getting wiser, and just becoming that you know intellectual sure man that I know I always could be from a young age. Sometimes it takes longer for some people to get
Yeah.
better, and some people ignore it. But I did it. But definitely thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for reconnecting as well. God knows what He's doing. He puts people together for a reason, and I trust His journey. I trust His lead. And did you get a little something, something that I gave you? You know what
I
time it is,
did.
right? You know what
Uh,
time it is.
I don't know what's up with you're the second person. So another friend got me the dumpster on fire. So apparently I people think I'm a freaking mess. Cause you give me Mr. Poop and my friend gives me the dumpster on fire. So I'm like, what do my friends think of me?
You're
Yeah,
positive poo.
positive poo. I like it though. I may be a tiny poo, but I believe in you. Go do your shit. I love this.
Boom.
Yeah. Oh yeah. This is super cute. Okay. This is nice. Wait, are you gonna can we
Yeah, we're gonna take
take
a
a shot
shot.
together?
Yes, but as you know, I'm in my sober journey, so this is
Yes.
alcohol
More power
free.
to you. I love it. Isn't
Alcohol free.
Casamigos George Clooney?
Yes.
Lord knows you God brought you today after that. You remember when I told you about the $500,000 deal today?
Mm-hmm. But it's okay.
Mhm.
God will replace it with a million
God
dollar
will
deal.
replace it. It fell through. It was a dumpster on fire, but he will provide.
But
All
you need
right.
that shot. So again, cheers.
Salud.
Thank you so much for being on the show. Alcohol free tequila. Hit the spot.
Oh yeah, I gotta make some calls.
Thank you so much again
Thank you, Jorge.
for being on Tequila
My
Talks,
friend, my
and
home slice. Take it
and I
easy.
hope to have you soon on the show again.
I will see you for our cigar event.
Absolutely. Stay tuned for details. Bye bye.